I mean, if it's all in my whole life, I'm such a closed person. You know, I don't my words and my feelings usually are expressed in my music. You know, I don't really like to be the center of attention. There's a quote that I go by. Happiness does not depend on what you have or who you are. It solely relies on what you think. You can't have a dream and expect it to be there in like you know, you wake up the next day and it's come true. You know, you got to work for it, and you have to believe that it's possible, and hope for the best, and keep working and writing and focusing 100% on my music. So I just got news that I'm opening up for Kanon, which is exciting. And I just got off work, so I look like a dirtbag. That's okay. But yeah, it's exciting news, and I'm really pumped to open up for Kanon, so. I don't know what people see in me. I don't know why people keep coming back to my shows. Like, it's just something that I always kind of question, and something I'm really thankful for, that I do have. That's something that kind of keeps people coming and keeps people actually listening to my songs and sending me emails saying that my songs help them through times and stuff like that. So, but I don't think I'll ever know why or what it is about myself that really brings people in.
To put Sarah in front of that audience, I think was a stroke of genius, and I think that was the perfect situation. And that's the kind of venue she needs to play. She needs to play places where, you know, for lack of a better term, people are going to shut up and listen, you know, because she needs to be listened to. This is not background music, you know. That's why it's important, wherever Sarah goes, she gets to places to play where people can actually hear what she's doing and pay attention to what she's doing and listen and be quiet, because that's what she requires and that's what she deserves.
And thank you very much for coming out. And our first performer tonight falls into that category. She started playing music when she was just 13 years old and has been turning heads ever since. She's now 19, and I think we can all probably understand the magnitude and significance of playing a show like this for someone at her age. So please give her a warm ovation from Guelph, Felker.
To see you in the light, oh, I feel
The struggle for me is I'm not like that blonde, blue-eyed, or like that girly girl. And there's things that I'm scared of too, you know? Being gay, that people, you know, what if people don't, I mean, they like your music, but they're kind of like scared of you, or, I mean, I don't know.
There will always be a portion of society out there who will immediately discount someone, never taking into account how great their songwriting is and their music is, because perhaps they're a lesbian or they're gay. And I will say that if that ever happens to someone like Sarah, or really anyone, people are going to miss out on some great art.
But like another thing that I've really struggled with, especially breaking into the music industry, and you know, is definitely weight. Like my weight and how I weigh, and it definitely plays in my head.
And yeah, sadly, they will give more of a about whether or not you're svelte and hot. When push comes to shove, I just hope that eventually, it will, the music will just speak for itself. That's what's going to happen.
I think everybody has a voice in their head that's going to tell them things about themselves that aren't true, and you just have to look beyond that and kind of see yourself how other people see you. And I always tried to be like somebody else, or I don't know, somehow be somebody else, but I think really all I need to do is just kind of improve who I was and make myself the best person I could be. The thing with people is I just have such a hard time being myself and kind of opening up and not being so shy.
And Sarah is such a quiet, sort of introspective performer that she requires you to pay attention to her. She, to me, right now, and maybe because she is young, she is the purest sort of artist there is.
Wanna scream, wanna cry, wanna let it all out. My desire, burning fire, no ashes left to prove the past. And I ain't never found a love to last. World ends, I go slow when we don't know where we're going. Who knows where we're going? No, this life is a little uneasy. Saying don't talk, you're weak, better keep it off the street. I don't know where to go when there ain't nobody left at home. Whoa.
I always felt lower than equal, you know, I didn't feel like I was equal with everybody else, you know, I always felt like I didn't have what everybody else had.
Look, that was at our very first apartment, and we had gone to Margaret Green Park, and then that was our backyard. We came home, and that's you. You were just almost walking by then. You were pulling yourself up on everything.
That's a ghetto TV.
You know the scar that you have underneath your chin? That's, you used to pull these doors open and jump up and down, and you fell one day and your chin hit the corner of the door. And you have the scar to prove it.
It
Cute.
looks like you like popped acid and then dressed me.
Do you remember when we lived on Auden Road?
A little bit.
I think we were only there for a year, and we moved because it was rent geared to income townhouses. There was a playground in there, and I guess the older kids would hang out there and at night, and we'd go in the morning to play, and there would be needles all over the place, and I just didn't feel like it was a really good environment to be raising you, so I moved. You know, even though we didn't have a lot of money and I was a single parent, it still doesn't mean you have to see that kind of stuff in your childhood.
So this is the neighborhood that I didn't really grow up in, but I spent a couple years here, and it's kind of, known as not one of the best places in Guelph, but I think I moved here when I was like 10 or 11. The people that I hung out with were not good people, and they were getting me into drinking and at a young age. And I remember I used to live in this house up here, like that was my bedroom window right there. My stepdad at the time, he always locked me out. I don't think he liked me, so I'd always have to break into that window right there and go into my house. He'd always like leave, and he knew I didn't have a key, and he'd lock the door, so I'd have to climb through the kitchen window. Yeah, I lived in Unit 37, and the people actually in Unit 36, they were my age and younger, and they got me into like smoking and stuff like that. I think if I stayed here, I don't know. I don't know if music would have kind of came to me. Definitely, I know I'm blessed. I have a lot of things a lot of people don't have. I mean, one thing I have is strength, and I mean, yeah, I grew up without a father. I don't have any men figures in my life. I've had my fair go of shitty days, but I guess the thing is you just really gotta stay strong and keep your head high. I remember that was my favorite book.
I know. What's the name of the book?
Whoever heard of a tiger in a tree?
And how many times did I read that book to you?
Every night.
I think we knew it off by heart, didn't we?
I mean, some of my friends with both parents who were raised with like a mother and a father haven't really had as good as a childhood as I have. So I mean, I think if I had my father in my life, I don't think I would have turned out to been the person. Don't cry.
I can't help it.
I don't think I would have been the person that I am today. You just took on both parts.
I get very emotional about this because my whole goal was to always make sure that you were okay. You were my number one priority, and still are, and probably always will be.
It's 3:30, and I'm at the airport with my mom, and I'm getting ready to go through security and get on the plane all by myself. And it's kind of scary. I'm kind of scared. So I haven't been updating as much as I'd like to. But yeah, I called my dad the first night I was here. And I called him, I thought that he might have called by now, but I haven't heard anything. And I don't know. Everybody's like, you have to call your dad, you have to see your dad before you go back, like you're here. And it's like, yeah, I'm here, but I didn't come for him. I came to discover who I am, who half of me is. This is where I'm from. This is where my father is from. And if whether I'm here, today's Tuesday, I only have 2 more full days here. So I have tomorrow and Wednesday and Thursday, and then Friday I'm going home. So if he doesn't reach out from now till then, I mean it's his loss. It would be great to see my dad again, but I grew up without him. He's not a big person in my life, so. We're at the museum in Kitchener for the Bob Marley exhibit, and I'm excited because I'm a huge fan of Bob Marley. Actually, well, there's a cool story. My dad was like a singer and he was inspiring, wanted to be big. When Bob Marley was recording his CDs, he would stand up in front of the studio and like sing and try and get noticed. So he's met Bob Marley. When I was in Jamaica, I was inspired to write my song Blues.
She performed this one song, which has now become one of my favorites, and it's called Blues. And it's got a kind of reggae quality to it. And so she told the story of how she had written it when she was in Jamaica, where her dad lives. In a way, she was talking about exploring her roots in Jamaica and writing this song in response to it.
But I'll sing the blues. Why'd you go and walk away? I'll sing the blues, wishing I could see your face, yeah.
All through school, you know, I kind of felt like an idiot. I wasn't good at anything. I feel like I'm kind of smart in music, if that makes sense. You know, it's my go-to thing, and it makes me happy, and it keeps me sane.
But look at these. I love these. From the first day that you went to daycare. And they sent these home every day. When I came to pick you up, they would have these. And so I always knew what you did that day.
Sarah had a great first day. She liked painting, pretending to talk on the phone, and playing with pasta noodles. I just like getting away from loud cars and sirens and all the industrial things, and I think it really keeps me grounded and keeps me level-headed. My dog's name is Marley B. She's my first real dog, so it's kind of like a child. She means the world to me. She's like my best friend. My favorite sayings is I wish that people were kind of like dogs, you know, because they're so friendly, you know, like you come home from work and they're so happy to see you, and I think they just think the world of you. And I don't know, dogs don't care who you are, what you look like, where you're from, where you live. They'll love you regardless.
It's moving in, and I can't fight, 'cause if the road can reach the edge, the battle's just begun, and I'll stay clear. If life is just a number, love's just a word. Searching stars, and I'll keep building walls for you to break, oh, and I'm searching for you, oh, I'm searching for you inside of me, inside of me.
I think I admire my mom the most. Probably for her like strength, and you know, being a single mom's hard, and anyone that can kind of raise a kid like me, it's something to admire. So yeah, Halloween used to be my favorite, but it sucked because it was my mom's birthday. So
Oh, how does that suck?
I felt bad when I wanted to go out, and you just sat at home.
At home by myself? On my birthday?
And I just remember you always make my costumes. Like, I can remember being an M&M one year, and a Teletubby. That's Peter Pan.
Peter Pan.
It was original. I can like always brag to my friends and be like, yeah, my mom made cool costumes. I just love to play, and I love to get up there and share my music with other people, so.
They look, they talk, they all the same.
I don't know if it's because like I'm gay and I don't understand what goes on in people's like other people's heads from their perspective, but I mean, I don't know why it matters like who you go home to at night, whether it's a guy or a girl. Like it doesn't define who you are. Like straight or not, I'd still be the same person that I am today. So just because I am gay, it doesn't change who I am.
And I've been searching for you.
I tried with Sarah to just be as supportive as I possibly could, so that she would always know that no matter what was happening in her life, that home was the safe place.
I told her when I was like 13, I think. And I told her, I was like, oh, Mom, I think I'm gay. And then that was it. It was really awkward. And I took it back when I was like 14. I was like, no, I'm not, no.
When she was 3, we were walking to her birthday party, and we were walking along holding hands, and she said, Mom, she said, I know I'm a girl, but inside I feel like a boy. And I was, I think, shocked, because where's that coming from? She's 3.
Well, when we first met her, she told us that she was a boy, because she was only friends with boys. And her name was Nick. Nick Sarah Jane Felker, and we believed it. Yeah.
She never wanted to buy girly clothes. She wanted boy clothes.
If you saw a picture, like she had like short hair, with like little curls at the top, and she wore boy clothes, and she totally looked like a boy. Yep.
I don't know, it was basically just like I didn't know how they would react, and I didn't want to lose my friends.
Because Sarah always said like she didn't want to lose us as friends. She was always scared about that. And I understand, like, that could be really scary.
She didn't come out, she was kicked out of the closet. Yeah, she didn't really come out for us, we kind of forced her
So
out.
I remember I picked up my phone, it was like, oh, Tara's calling, so then called, and you were just like having a regular conversation, and then I hear Elsa, and I'm like, oh no, they know.
And we asked you, we're like, are you dating this girl, and you would not tell us? And then you thought that we were gonna like disown you, and I was like, Sarah, like I don't care. Like, and then you told me that you didn't want me to be weird about it because you think I'm disgusting anyways and I'm not your type.
She emphasizes that all the time. You're not my type. You're not my type.
Well, I don't know. I don't want people to be like, hey, you're hitting on me. I'm just like, no, I'm just friendly. See, that's the thing. Like, in this day and age, people are like, you can't be friendly without people thinking that you're flirting with them. So if you're nice, you're like, oh, that girl is totally hitting on me. It's just like, no, man.
Get that all the time.
Yeah.
We didn't tell hanging out with you.
We didn't tell anyone.
I swear, I always knew you were gay, but I
So
would
did we.
always,
Everyone
but I was
knew
always
that.
like nervous to like bring it up, kind of,
Yeah.
until the day you mentioned you being gay, and then I was like, okay. I think I was like the new guy, so I was like,
Oh, yeah.
I can't say anything to like, what if she's
Yeah.
not like.
We get that vibe.
I was so mad you didn't tell me for 3 months.
Yeah, we knew.
Yeah, we
knew.
This girl has the biggest mouth.
I was so mad. And did I tell anybody after? No.
Because I was more upset that you thought that I wasn't going to be your friend anymore. For me, that was like heartbreaking for you to be like, oh, I thought you were going to like make me sit alone in the hall at lunch. And like, I would never do that. Like,
They're like the other side of like, I'm lucky enough to have friends that do support me, but like a lot of people don't have friends.
It's like there's so many experiences that we've been able to have because of Sarah and because of her music career.
Yeah, I think that's like the best part when you're singing and watching other people react to it. And like, this girl is amazing! Where did she come from?
People will never remember, they might not remember like what you said to them, but they'll always remember how you make them feel. And that's one thing I want to do. I just want to make people feel good when they hear my music and like feel something.
Moving right ahead, the future looks bright now.
So she has this kind of warmth that she is capable of giving out. She just performs. She just sings out loud. She just gives you part of herself. But, you know, ordinarily, I think she's too shy to really push it. So there's this profound humility there that I don't want her to lose. But I also want her to be that performer that I saw open for Kmart.
I guess I care too much of what people think, but then when I'm on stage, I just feel comfortable and I feel at place. Whenever I step on the stage, I just like transform into a different person. So I wrote this song not too long ago, and every time I play it,
my hometown comes in mind, Guelph. So yeah, this song's called The City.
What's going on is I've been playing around Toronto a lot. Tomorrow's the show. Growing up, I just always wished that I had that one thing to kind of make people go like, wow.
You always say if the walls could talk, here the walls just don't talk. They still belly up to the bar and order a drink and share in the magic. At the end of the day, it is just a bunch of crappy old tables and chairs, but the spirit of everybody that's played here and come here as patrons or worked here stays in the room and makes people gravitate. And when you come in, you have people in a great mood, willing to share that spirit, that's when magic happens. The magic's in the music and the music's in the horseshoe. No gig too big, no gig too small. Every time you play and there's 5 people there, 4 of them are people that are going to be helping you out somewhere down the road. That's why I always tell bands, it doesn't matter when you play, where you play. When you take the stage, it's your Massey Hall. It's your Madison Square Garden. Not everyone's going to end up being a person on stage or on record that dominates the world or makes a big mark. But they're going to be doing something. It's a labor of love. There's no other reason unless it's who you are and it's what you do and it feeds your soul.
I don't think there's ever been as much new music being, thrust out into the world as there is right now. I know tons of people who are amazing, who you will probably never hear of.
I honestly probably get, even now, I used to get more at Radio 3, but even now on the morning show, I really get about 7 bands, 7 artists a day emailing me about their music.
A lot of venues that were sort of on the, I don't know, like in the mid-range, like 200 to 600 seaters. A lot of those kind of venues have disappeared, and I don't know, like it just seems a little bit harder to make a go of it.
I think your measurement of success should always be, did I write a better song? Am I getting better as a player? Am I good to people? What do people have to say about me? And I think in the long run, that's what elongates a career, right? That's what gives you longevity. That's what gives you success.
The best advice I ever got from anyone was just be yourself in the artist that you are, in the person that you are, in the art that you create. Doesn't matter what genre you're writing in, doesn't matter what style you're writing in. People can sense when it's not. I think anytime you're performing on stage, people like to know that they're getting a little piece of the person that you are.
It's like I have a day job. Most singer-songwriters I know have a day job. It's difficult, but it's worth it.
I haven't been a full-time musician for very long. I would say only in the last few years have I been able to make a living doing what I love to do. Before that, I took whatever job I could. I was a bartender. I worked in music stores.
I wish I had known then that to make a good or better living, I should have focused more on piano playing and being a session musician. So maybe going on tour with other acts as a support. Otherwise, you just have to get a day job. It's really that cut and dry.
So today I got a job. And it's not a very fun job. It's a factory job in Aurora. And it's working from 10:30 at night to 7 in the morning. Tonight is my 3rd shift working the new job. It's factory work, building car parts, welding together car parts and stuff. I'm gonna try and write some music. It was really hard to get out of bed today. It's 10:30 on a Monday night, and I am off to work. I only got like 3 hours of sleep today too. I just want to be a full-time musician, but it's stressful because it's hard to get up and then play, write songs and stuff. I guess it shows how bad you want it. So it's lunch break at work. It's weird to have a lunch at 3 o'clock in the morning, but I look like a zombie, but it is 7:35 a.m. and I just got off work. I'm driving home. There we are. starting to get used to nights and everything, and I have my window all taped up, so it's kind of dark in here. I taped it up so I could get some shut-eye. Here I am at the rehearsal space. Gonna do my set, gonna go over it, gonna work out the tweaks, make sure that I know every part solid. I guess because I've had so much, rejection and, kind of just keep working at it, you're not good enough type things throughout my career so far. It's so hard to get my hopes up. It always seemed like good things were coming, but then it ended up with disappointment. I mean, I guess you just gotta stay strong because, how I see it is it's just kind of good things come to those who wait. I'm just fed up with all the disappointment, and I'm ready for some good news, and I'm ready to start my journey. And so we're here, it's November 6th, and we're here at the venue, which is Free Times Cafe, and I'm about to do my showcase for Universal Music, which I have mixed emotions about. I'm a little nervous because I feel like I've worked so hard to get to this point, and there's been times where I feel like I'm gonna get somewhere, and then all of a sudden, it just, I don't know, it just doesn't work out. And this is an amazing opportunity. It's the biggest opportunity I've had to date, and I just don't want it to kind of, expect something out of it and then it not happen. So.
For the past 2 weeks leading up to this, the first couple days, I thought, I don't think I'm going to make it through with Sarah because she couldn't sleep. She, even during the day, she would just pace back and forth through the apartment.
Last night I was practicing till late hours, and I was just making sure everything was kind of perfect, but I don't know, nothing can be perfect.
She said on the way down in the car, she said it feels like somebody just let a whole load of butterflies go, and they're all in my stomach.
Today, like I said to my mom on the way up here, I was like, it feels like the butterfly sanctuary kind of escaped in my stomach. But I'm nervous, but I don't know. I guess if you don't get nervous, then it means, in my mind, it means that you don't really care about something, because you have to get nervous, otherwise it doesn't mean anything to you. I've invited a special guest, Lila, and I met her a couple years ago at Song Studio, and she's gonna be playing tonight. She was down to play, so I think it's gonna be good.
When was it? August. I went to LA to work with a producer, David Tyson, who produced Amanda Marshall. Yeah, the main goal is to record the EP. I have so many songs. I'd like to make sure they're perfect before spending a bunch of money and recording them, and everything in music is expensive and I am so poor. I met Sarah through Song Studio, and she was amazing. So when I met her, she was really young. I think she was maybe 16, 17, and she was polished, she was perfect, she was on key, she was on time, she had everything down. That's something that you can't fake.
Driving down this empty road, trying to learn what forgetting is.
We just touched base in Toronto, and I have a show tonight.
It's over. You're not the one to tell me lies. No, you kiss my lips and leave me high.
I'm just practicing for just going through my set, making sure everything's good.
Leave your boxes at the door. Some say our goodbyes.
I'm like halfway through my set, almost no more.
I sing the blues. Why'd you go and walk away?
This is what dance that I should do. Like, I think it sounds better too for the beginning. Like,
Show me something I might wanna see, 'cause I feel like I'm losing control. I wanna know what it's like to be the only one you see, and we can take it from.
alright, so tonight I'm playing at the Velvet Underground in Toronto, Ontario. It's a Universal showcase for Mark Spickula, and it's my 3rd time playing for him. And the first time I played to now, I think there's a huge improvement. Yeah, it's a pretty big deal playing for Mark Spickula because he's like the senior director of A&Rs at Universal. That's especially nerve-wracking.
Sarah's performed with me for, wow, she's young, a long time. She was always really good. Her stage presence is great. As she gets a little older, her confidence is getting better. But she's probably one of the best acoustic females in the city. I find her vocals unique. She's not trying to be someone else. She's just trying to be herself, which is, at that age, is a big deal because everybody comes up and tries to sound like someone else, and yet she has her own thing she's doing. So we book her constantly. She's a very, very good talent.
I noticed that you enjoy yourself, and I think everyone there was like just a very unique ability to capture the crowd. You've come a long way.
I have. I've been working my ass off.
That's cool. You have a really special talent.
I'm trying to write a song. Oh no, and then you forget, stop ringing. Oh my god. How does the verse go? See myself out, okay. I see myself out on the whirlwind, trying not to get caught in those eyes. Second verse is gonna be a first part, and the second part is. Yeah, so I always have these ideas of songs that I want to write, but then when I go to write them, they like turn into something completely different. Sounds like that one song. I'm here with you tonight. So let's try this. I see myself out on the whirlwind, trying not to get caught in those eyes. I feel your body moving closer, following the footsteps in disguise.
My name's Jordan Valeriot, producer and engineer out of Guelph. idea with the song today was just to kind of see what it's like to work with Sarah and kind of get a more in-depth perspective of her music and her style and what she's kind of going for. I'm happy she's here.
Oops.
Cool, it sounds pretty good.
With all the words you say between your lips, your fingertips, you're touching me to the bone, you're making me go insane.
So I worked with Sarah last summer. We recorded a song called Lies. That was a good experience, so she came back a couple months later and we did two more demo tracks just to kind of feel out some possibilities. From working with her, I think she still is trying to find what she wants to be, like what kind of artist she wants to be and what kind of direction. So for me, working with her, I think even still after the 2 times she was in, I'm still trying to get in her head a little bit and try to figure out where she's trying to go with stuff. She and I, like, we still haven't found like the sound that's like, that's it, like that's what she needs to sound like, you know. But all the songs I've worked with her on, even though they're all great songs, I don't think we've nailed like her sound yet. So still trying to figure that out. I think she has something unique, but we just have to kind of find it. So.
Leave your boxes at the door. It's time to say our goodbyes. So now you're falling to the floor. I see regret fill your eyes. There's no second chances when you play it like it's already done. Didn't you leave this unsaid?
I'm here at the Mod Club in Toronto, Ontario for Canadian Music Week. This is my first time playing Canadian Music Week. It should be a good show. So everybody has a story and everybody's kind of fought somehow to get to where they are today, so...
Christmas morning. Look at you.
Christmas was the best.
Christmas morning always was, just you and I.
That's the only reason I liked being an only child. Because
Christmas.
we'd walk downstairs and all the presents would be like, for me.
For you. But you know what happened that Christmas? I had to, because I didn't have a lot of money, and I bought that secondhand. And I was cleaning it up Christmas Eve. You were in bed sleeping, and I was on my knees scrubbing this thing down, and all of a sudden I looked up and there you were, and I freaked out. I just went, "What are you doing? Get back to bed." And then I thought, oh, that's it. Christmas is ruined. She saw her present. But I just carried on. I put you back to bed. I carried on cleaning it, and I wrapped it, and you never even knew. You were so surprised when you opened it. It was like...
Where you are right now, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be where you are forever. You know, it's just, it's another chapter of your story, and I think you have control over anything in life, and you just have to get up and do something about it. I think that yourself, you don't see people the way other people see you, and I think sometimes your head can tell you things about yourself that aren't true, and you just have to look beyond that and kind of see yourself how other people see you.
When you opened up for Kanon, I was just so proud. I was just
That's
like,
crazy.
oh my gosh, like my friend is playing in this giant concert hall.
My heart drops every time. I'm just like, I'm friends with this person. I know this person.
Yeah.
Like, how is this possible?
The rest of the staff made a point of going to see Sarah, and they all came back and said she just blew everybody away.
The Hillside Festival has, over the years, garnered a reputation for showcasing up-and-coming artists, artists that are known, that aren't known, and they get this incredible reception. Nothing is better than having a great crowd. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good possibility. Yes.
She'll be playing at Hillside? You mind saying it?
She will be playing at Hillside this summer. As long as she, doesn't like get signed by a major label and have to go on a global tour or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm here at the Hillside Festival. It's the 30th anniversary. It's the last day. I'm playing in about a half hour, and it's gonna be awesome. So Friday night, I did a workshop with some really great musicians. It was a good way to kick off Hillside. It was cool to be sharing the stage with James Gordon because I actually wrote my first song with him when I was in grade 6. And then with Amber McLean, she's an amazing singer, she's an amazing songwriter, and it was a great experience to be able to share the stage with her. So. But I think I have to go because the sound guy is like, okay. All right. Thanks, sir.
Hillside! You impressed so far? Yeah? Yeah? Well, if you're not, here's a young local talent who's guaranteed to impress. Sarah J. Felker is from Guelph. She's 19, and please, a huge warm welcome and applause for her, because I know she's super excited, and so is her mom, Sarah J. Felker.
There's a world of pain outside your door. There's a crying mother, lost her son at war, and the world keeps turning as the skies are fading gray, and hope for a better day.
I mean, for me, I think I was lucky. I was definitely blessed to have, supportive friends and a supportive family and people that really backed me up and had my back no matter what. I mean, in other situations, there's people where their family will not be as supportive, and but there's always going to be somebody out there who accepts you for you. Having my friends' support is huge because, from when I first started, they were really the only ones that ever came out to my show, and they came to a lot of shows, which is, thinking about it, it means a lot because they're taking time to just come and watch me play. I don't know, because I feel like everybody has a destiny, and when I performed, when I opened up for Kanon, it kind of just hit me like, this is what you're meant to do.